Welcome back to another What I Eat in a Week breakfast edition. If you're new here, my name is Kiatatyana. I make all things anti-inflammatory, wellness, faith, all things getting the girls together all 2026. I want to highlight what it means to eat anti-inflammatory, but also not making it boring, and that is just the stage and era of my life I'm in. So this specific morning, we were craving shrimp and grits, so we gathered up all the ingredients that you would need to make your normal shrimp and grits. Instead, we are going to make it anti-inflammatory, dairy-free, gluten-free, seed oil-free, refined sugar-free. You guys already know. I started off by sauteing my veggies, let it cook down. I've been loving this olive oil by Terra Delisa. I think that's how you pronounce it. It tastes so good, so fresh. Honestly, I've never had olive oil that tastes like that. Instead of your normal sugar in your grits, we're using raw and unfiltered honey into the sauteed veggies. Let it cook down a little bit. Also adding coconut aminos. This kind of replicates soy sauce taste, but this just enhances and makes the flavor rich. I don't even know how to explain it. You just have to try it. Don't knock it before you try it. This is a brand that I use by Big Tree. You can get this out of Sprouts, Walmart, I believe Target. Plenty of places hold this brand. Super clean ingredients. And I'm also going to let this cook down a little bit before I move on to the next step. I recently worked with this brand called For Real, and I love their seasonings. We got it over a month ago, and the seasonings are all finished. So I added a little bit of this for more flavor. So now it's time to cook your grits. Instead of using water as the polenta calls, we're using bone broth for extra collagen. So much vitamins and support in this dish. And I let this boil. Follow the instructions on the polenta bag and you'll be good to go. Now onto the shrimp. This specific day, I did not have the Belinsky's Cajun sausage. I would usually add that into the grits, but I'm seasoning up the shrimp the normal way, using also that same brand For Real. This kind of gives like a Cajun spice. Think of it that way. The polenta will require some adjusting, so do as you can. For the cheesy taste in the polenta, once it's finished, we add nutritional yeast, a little bit more almond milk to thin out the polenta. And then back into the searing pan, you're gonna add your shrimp, add your coconut cream. Look at the ingredients, very clean, straight to the point, and that's what I love and I look for every time. I added a little bit more seasoning into the coconut cream to get rid of the coconut taste. So no, you cannot taste the coconut. I actually forgot that there was coconut in here. Look how delicious this looks. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. Can't believe we were able to pull this off. You have to try this recipe. On the side of it, I made a mocktail. It was so delicious. I'm gonna have to do a drink series very soon, but you'll have to try this recipe. And that is what I ate for day 1 of the week. Day 2, we're doing a jammy egg pesto, and yes, I am making the pesto from scratch because a lot of the pestos that I find in store either has extra ingredients that's irrelevant and contradictory to the lifestyle that I'm living. But most importantly, anything that you make from scratch just naturally tastes good. And honestly, this entire meal took me less than 30 minutes to make. It's so fresh. It actually had my husband like, where is mine? I know I said before that I'm gluten free, but I realized that my body actually tolerates this organic, fermented sourdough seeds bread. This is a multi-seed bread, has no Vita wheat gluten, no Cetos, no preservatives. All in all, my body tolerates it. But for the most part, after eating this, I am still gluten free. I would just eat this bread, but everything else I'll eat. If it's no Vita wheat gluten and the wheat is clean, I will eat it. I topped it off with some red pepper flakes because who doesn't like a little spice, and some raw and unfiltered honey. And tell me this does not look delicious. So easy to make. You have to add this into your weekly rotation. It's day 3, and honestly, midweek, I always have such a high sweet tooth. So, of course, I wanted something that involved sweetness to it. So, I made a Nutella crepe. Crepes are something that I used to love so much. I love the crispiness, the thinness of it, the Nutella, the original Nutella taste. However, we are anti-inflammatory. So I'm using dark chocolate, date sugar, very clean ingredients, coconut flour, oat flour. And surprisingly, this took less time than I actually thought. But I would say, if you're trying this for the first time, give yourself so much grace and room for trial and error, especially if you never made a crepe before. Because even so, I messed up a couple of times where I made the batter a little bit too thick. I put too much in the pan, didn't swivel it enough. Like, it's such a method when it comes to making crepes, but the end result is so worth it and you enjoy it every single time. One thing I would say is when making crepes, do not leave it unattended. You need to be watching this thing like a hawk. Before flipping, I added some dark chocolate chips so it can have the middle smoothness of Nutella-ish. And I topped it with sliced bananas and additional chocolate chips to also give some more Nutella, quote unquote, on top. And this is the final look. Look how delicious this is. I have to run this back more than one time a week, and it's a perfect midweek pick-me-up and something to just look forward to. Honestly, this can also be like a dessert. Try this recipe and thank me later. It's day 4, and by now I've already kicked off my sweet tooth trend. So today I am having a French toast sandwich. Not really a sandwich, but I guess you can say that. It's so easy to make. It's dairy-free, of course, gluten-free, of course, using the same bread that I used the other day. And the method to a French toast that takes very similar to the French toast that you're probably used to is using egg whites, almond milk, and making sure that you're beating that thing so good where it's whipped. Add your cinnamon, your sea salt. I also like to add a little bit of vanilla. I didn't have any this day, but I would normally add vanilla. And you're gonna place it into your frying pan with olive oil and let it crisp up. Do not move it until it's fully cooked. And this is the key. If you move it prematurely, it would come out very soggy or very much so stuck to the pan. And my favorite thing about this whole entire thing is the berry compost. I'm using raspberries and blackberries, and making a compost like this, you can use frozen fruits. I didn't have any, so I'm gonna use what I have. I love making berry compost because it's so easy, and if you don't have jam on hand, or if you cannot find a clean jam, or you don't want to spend so much money on a clean jam, it's very easy to make this. And to balance out the flavors, you can add a squeeze of lemon juice and a little bit of maple syrup, honey. And to jazz up my French toast, I'm using this Toonie Mooney marshmallow cream. I love this brand so much. I purchased this out of Sprouts. I believe Walmart sells it. You can also Google it. I think Amazon would carry this as well. And I'm making this almost like a whipped cream, but since there's no clean whipped creams, I'm putting this in between, smearing it out, and this is so delicious. I'm actually going to run this again soon. And this is something that you have to add into rotation. How beautiful my French toast look. It's delicious. You don't need anything else additional. You don't need any syrup. You don't need anything. No honey, nothing. It's naturally very good, very flavorful, and I cannot say this enough. Flavors are bright. Which jam are you buying? And the flavors and the color is so bright and vibrant like this. I'll wait. I said enough. Try this. I was actually in heaven while eating this. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give this channel a subscribe, a like, comment down below which meal would you be trying next, or which meal are you including in your rotation of breakfast. I hope this gave you some sort of inspiration and motivation to keep going while on the anti-inflammatory diet. You do not have to compromise, and you do not have to settle on boring and bland food. I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.